everybody, and welcome into the 47th annual Wintertime Open, presented by Legacy Discs. I'm Ethan Wellin, and I'm joined in the booth today by Mr. Chris Brophy.
Hey there. I don't know about you, Ethan, but I thought this hole was really tough. And looking at the stats, I don't believe there was a single birdie on either the pro or the am weekend.
Yeah, it's a really challenging starting hole. It's February, and a lot of these guys, this is going to be their first competitive tournament shot of the year. And it really just forces you in a position where you have this really awkward, difficult upshot for a lot of drives.
Even if you got close, sometimes you didn't have a look. Like this.
Yeah, Drew's play, I think, is a really clean, repeatable way to play the hole. I mean, he hyzers to 50 feet. He's got a jump putt, and then tricky little putt by Pulps there. Pulps has got a challenging, kind of situation in front of him here. He's a 950-ish rated player. He's on the card with Drew's a top 30 or top 40 in the world kind of player. And I think just staying within himself today, making those putts like he just did, is going to be really key to having a good round.
Almost. It's interesting not having that goal. Ooh, get in. Not having that gully out of bounds, that usually bites people. That was a good shot. Not surprised that all of you went sidearm on this hole. I do like that as the play for a righty.
I remember this being kind of a nervy shot, kind of in between a jump putt and a throw. I'm just trying to crash it into the hillside on the right there. Pulps has a birdie chance. There's a great one to get.
Good bird. Yeah, speaking of Pulps being in, a little bit over his head potentially, I watched him play the weekend before in the amateur weekend. I believe he was on lead card in Am 1 on the final day, so.
Yeah, it is nice, I think, for him to come in with all those reps, competitive reps on this layout. And I leaned on his experience a few times. I was asking him, like, hey, did you see anybody birdie this hole? Did you see anybody, play it up this line versus that line? Got a little bit of intel on the way that the top AMs were approaching this layout. Can't do any better than that. Yeah. All of the first 6 holes in this layout are among the 9 hardest holes in the full 18. So a lot of these players are going to be kind of grinding for 1 or 2 birdies in the 6-hole stretch, maybe offsetting 1 bogey in the 6-hole stretch. If you can escape it, even 1 under, 2 under, then you can really pin your ears back, I think. When you come down back into the flat on the backside of the course, you can make a lot of birdies coming in. Put together 6 or 7 under on that backside for an open player.
Yeah, I told anybody that would listen, I thought the key to this tournament was surviving those first few holes. Not end up 7 up after 5 holes and being a giant hole. No pun intended. I liked having this one pushed back a little bit. You know, it was maybe 80 feet past the mouth, so you really had to throw a technical shot. That made the sidearm really tough unless you could get low and get the big skip. Very nice, kind of late turning back hand, and we saw a lot of people do that.
Yes. Yeah, I saw a pretty even mix on my cards of backhands and sidearms, and I do think that the backhand is the more natural shot to park the hole, to have the disc kind of finishing straight late down that mouth. The sidearm is to me more of like a play to get to guarantee yourself a 40-footer, you know, to kind of hyzer in right in front of that bush, which I'm about to smack right into, to instead carry to the right into that hillside and just kind of give yourself something.
It's sort of a chunky play getting your disc up there too if you don't get a clean look at it, so definitely easy to bogey this hole if you misstep.
And they can get away on that backside. In the direction where Drew and Pulps both missed, it kind of runs away, and it leaves you these annoying little 20, 30 footers. Obviously, these guys expect to make these putts. But Pulps, the only man under par through 4 holes.
Didn't mean to talk trash on the local guy.
And he's got the box on the first par 4. Traditionally, this was the spider tree position in years past, but I think maybe for 3 or so years we've been playing this kind of short par 4 tucked to the left.
That is trouble.
Yeah.
If you don't get all the way up top your first shot, boy, you're really asking for it on this hole.
Branches in the way.
Might be different for a few of the open guys, but I think for a lot of the other divisions, the age-protected divisions, man, this hole almost felt like it played like a par 5. There was no clear place you wanted to land for a gimme approach for the 3.
Yeah. Well,
I think a 3 felt like an eagle for the few people that got him. It was kind of an in-between.
Drew threw it in the place. If you wanted to go up there and put it somewhere, you would probably put it where Drew put it. Pulps is just...
There's that OB line there that he's about to get close to.
He's safe
Good
there.
play.
Yeah. So unfortunately, Logan told me on the second shot, he thought that he was going to the spider tree. That's why he threw that sidearm. And then once he got up top and realized that he was going down this mouth where Drew and I are trying to go instead, Logan's an assistant camera operator for SWAT TV show, and I think it's just not affording him the practice time that he really wants at the moment. And just bit him there, unfortunately. Expect to see 3s and 4s from him the next 2 days. This is birdie, though. Great birdie by Drew. And I found a tap in myself. Not really one that I expect to find a lot of 3s on this weekend. Hole 6, really tough par 3.
Yeah, another hole with no birdies all weekend in Open. Probably none in any of the other divisions, if I looked. I liked that play going far left. just not messing with the road. Unless some far throwers were trying to attack it. So many rocks, so many ways to catch an early OB stroke and still not have a good up and down.
Okay. Gracias.
Yeah, if you can just trick yourself into thinking it's a par 4 and break the hole into 2 shots, there are a few more opportunities to kind of just throw a pure line, something that feels for people.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so there's 2 guys that got fairly lucky hitting rocks and not ending up in that road OB. Hence that idea of just surviving these first few. Take a couple pars. The road was about 15 feet from the target. You can see why there's a lot of people kind of letting it fall left, being wary of an extra OB stroke at the end.
Yeah.
Tough hole.
And a lot of plays down this back door on the left. It almost takes the road out of play because there's too many things to hit going through there. If you got another tab open and you need to check your email, this is a great time.
Fire trucks remnant of some pretty nasty fires that this area had experienced just a couple weeks before. We were lucky to be playing at all. Ooh, see, that misses that rock. Yeah, sketchy. Hard to attack the road like that.
Really good bounce back 3 by Logan after a tough score on the previous hole on 5. And that's kind of a cringy 4 for me after that short miss putt. But I'm telling myself 7 strokes through holes 5 and 6 is good golf. And it's just what we talked about. Fighting for being around even par through 6. Now these guys can go to work.
Still putt.
Not a typical Wintertime Open hole. This was new for this year.
Yeah, you just want to squeeze something in between the ceiling and those picnic tables and get it moving left, and then the green is pretty forgiving. There's a lot of putts. You can just find your way past those picnic tables. This was kind of a frustrating position that Drew got into. I think he's right at the edge of the circle or just outside, but did not have a clean look, and he still almost got it in there for the birdie.
There you go. The field was not out of bounds this year, so really no trouble to get into, OB-wise. Another kind of in-between par hole. It's pretty tough to get all the way up there. Maybe this guy can do it.
He's certainly going to try.
If You can tuck a bunch of hyzer on a flippy disc and let it flip up with a late flip and let it fly. Maybe you have a chance to get up there, and
It
you
just
got up there pretty far.
scoots past the edge of those trees.
Once again, you have a OB 1.5 meters from the target, so it's still a sketchy putt to run.
Oh, cool. You do your job, please.
I had to give you something good to follow,
Survived
even if
it.
it was close. Nice.
Heel, boy. Heel.
Oh, that's... Eesh. It's nice to get over those rocks, but then you have to get back down before it gets over the curb.
Yeah, I like just playing the shot short of the rocks and trusting your
Get it.
putt, especially a day like today where the wind is low. 15-footer is, I think, an acceptable outcome, and that just got away from Drew. An eagle chance there. Guessing that was probably one of the easiest holes by scoring average for the open field.
It's like 3/4 of the field got a birdie. And this next one, fairly easy, more than half. Take the 2.
And you catch it way before it.
Like you almost got the 1.
This is definitely a classic Wintertime Open hole. Got a lot of reps over the years.
Is that mid-range I saw Andrew throwing?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeesh.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's going to be driver for a lot of guys just because I think the shape is really comfortable for a driver. You can aim up there to the right in that like open air and just trust the disc to glide in on its own. Couple strokes have just slipped away from Pulps here on these last few holes. And Drew as well just seems frustrated. Frustrated with the putt. Obviously has high expectations. He won a B tier already, the La Mirada Open a couple weeks ago, so I know he feels like his game is ready. And is just anxious to carry the momentum out to the Pro Tour in a couple weeks. So I want to see those putts going in. Front 9 check-in, Aviel Gomez, 17-year-old kid, leads the pack. And I saw George Cole up there as well. George had a great 46th Wintertime Open, was on that week card with Josh Anton and Andrew Miranda battling down the home stretch. So expect to see those guys continue to fight for a chance to win
Totally fine.
a really big A-tier title.
Tickled it. What a freaking just killed it.
This first shot, the placement's so important. Anything left of that bush that Pulps just scooted in front of gives you a pretty tough angle. Getting around that Mandy.
I went not around the Mandy, but through the Mandy, or attempted to.
There was a time when they made the around the Mando rule.
Still tough to get all the way there with that angle.
Yeah, it's sort of a natural bunker where if you leave it too far to the left and short, you can't approach the green. It'll just tempt you to do something irresponsible.
And he skipped a little bit.
Pulps just trying to get up and down. Just trying to get up and down.
Nice. Way to pull it around the tree. That's tough.
Fours do not hurt you on the 10th. As Logan taps in, I feel like the race is really on. From 11 through 17 is where you can attack this layout. And even for Logan, only being even par, you could get 5 or 6 of those birdies and really give yourself a chance to stay in this tournament.
Oh, man.
Well, it's on film, Ethan.
I knew it. As soon as I threw it, I
This at
knew
least didn't stick in the wire, but that's bad luck.
Those wires are, in my opinion, impossible to hit in casual play, but almost unmissable in tournament play. You see guys hit them all the time.
Occasionally one will stick too, which is pretty impressive in braided wire. It's kind of a head scratcher. Local boy, that should be there. There you go, Pulps. Nice putt. In you go to the desert.
Yes, the 12th hole was shortened for the first 2 days of the Wintertime Open. There's a big, a casual pond next to surrounding the permanent placement for this hole. So the guys are playing shorter, about 250 feet, I think, to a temporary basket. And it really feels like a absolute must-get, 250-foot wide-open shot. That said, we're not all going to get it.
Give it to him.
Jump in. That was a good shot.
Almost gets 2 in a row there.
Pulps' putt. It's nice and flat and straight.
Yeah, it's really direct.
It's easy to push it wide on this hole. People are, worried about skipping under that wire OB. So get that last second yank if you're going forehand. Not uncommon.
If you played 12 well, then I think you step on 13's pad and you think, same thing but harder. Which almost works out for a 1 for Drew.
Yeah, at least for the forehand, kind of the same shot, farther, minus the out of bounds fear. Get in that bush and not have a great putt.
That's 2 slips and 2 yanks in a row for me, so. Stay in there.
Nice shot of the NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratory in the background as Andrew rockets one in. Like that putt.
Yeah, I think he's found something the last few holes. He's got a little more rhythm with the putter. And that's 2 in a row for Logan as well.
This one was pretty short, but that little OB rock circle sketched people out, like this one. This is the only hole that had a hazard area. Anything that didn't land in that rock circle was a hazard, and there's 2 guys. Oh, wait. Well, at least one guy in the hazard. I like the backhand here. Get in. Ooh. As long as you keep it wide enough, trust that it's going to blow back. Nothing really in the way for that backhand.
Yeah, I wonder if these big boulders are factoring in people's choice to throw sidearm. I find this sidearm kind of awkward off this tee because of that mound to the left. You kind of have to either force something pretty straight or go really high. And the backhand, I think, is just like a very natural, overstable putter or a mid or something like that. You can kind of just aim down the right side of that island and let the disc drop itself inbounds. Really clean 2 for Drew, though, there, and he did exactly what you got to do. Get hot on these easy holes. He's moved himself to -6.
Oh, yeah, dude. See? Hurry. Nice.
Logan makes a good mistake, I think, which is just really commit. Even if you turn it over a little bit too much, mostly they're going to dump in that fairway and leave you a straight up shot. And then this is the effect of the rain. It's been really, really heavy rain, kind of flash floods in the 2 days preceding the tournament. So Drew's throwing over this muck pond where the dog's going for a swim.
Real tough upshot from there. I thought it through, thinking, better to make the mistake going too far right, even with the OB line, because you can still get the 4.
Yeah, absolutely.
As a
agree.
double hole.
Yeah.
Going short, hitting that giant bush they call the green monster. It might not be a 4 from there. Especially with the 2 meter rule in effect. If you stick in that bush, which was pretty easy to do, you're asking for a bigger number. That's a fun putt. Nice shot.
Yeah, it's a great putt.
I think Owen had the only eagle.
I saw 2 eagles. I saw one for Jeff McCormick out of NorCal. He did it in round 1, and Owen, I think, with the throw-in, round 3.
Impressive.
Yeah.
I guess I should have checked the stats before I said that. Owen's throw-in was impressive. A foreshadow.
That got away from me in a big way. This is a pretty straightforward 2-shot par 4. Bending around this mandatory tree and up to the right. And you really don't have to do a ton off this tee pad to have an opportunity to make birdie.
Oh.
You hate that miss.
Yeah.
Because there's really no need, in my opinion, to even cut it close. So Drew goes to the drop zone, and if you have Drew power, you can access this hyzer line kind of up and around everything. And he gave himself a backdoor putt, if I remember correctly.
Don't go long on the bathroom.
Stops right on the curb. Perfect shot, and then I loved what Logan did, and I just tried to do the same thing, pretty much.
Perfect.
Drop it in there a little softer.
Nice touch. Surprised to see that. He's had a couple of those. I don't know if he's working something out here in the beginning of the season, but not typical Andrew Miranda putting that we're used to.
This is birdie for Logan. Well played hole. Oh no, he missed. Sorry, he missed a putt from the bathroom. Yeah, par.
Stone sink is in the way on those sidearms.
Yes.
Plays well for a forehand until that. Get over it or just in front of it, you get a putt. Backhand brings in a bunch of early stuff, so I understand why people are opting for the forehand. There's one big late thing to deal with.
Only 245 feet on the 17th. You really expect to see the MPO level. You want to see these guys in the circle. There's not enough in the way to explain a bunch of long birdie putts and a bunch of par results. Oh, I really thought Logan's was going to stick.
Good luck with that.
It's even more painful to miss the birdie on 17 because you know you have 18 looming. Iconic finishing hole, really challenging. One of the hardest, I think, by scoring average on the course. And if you put that birdie in your back pocket on 17, you can stand on 18's tee thinking par or even bogey wouldn't be a disaster. But now I think these guys are going to want to press a little bit. I mean, the lead is around -8 or -9. So 5 under puts you 4 back, 6 under, 3 back, puts you a little more in contention. You want to get something just finishing straight out there by the road, taking that mandatory out of play in your second shot so that you can go straight down the gap. And these are all just a little high, messing around with that ceiling.
Even if you turn it all the way to the right to the normal short tee pad, you get a look.
I kind of think once the drive is not ideal on this hole, birdie is gone, and you're kind of just thinking like, how can I chip my way, break what's left into 2 shots and get myself a par putt. This is very aggressive.
That OB line on the left. Just got back in bounds. Oh my.
Result is
goodness.
So good. I mean, that's a 1030 rated golfer at work.
Oh, wow. Miss those logs. What? Oh.
Really close to a birdie to end his day.
There's that late branch here, so that even if you leave it like 25 short, you have a tough putt.
Yeah, you want to get it pin high. It's just an absolutely all-world birdie from the spot he was in. And it's a big deal, I think, for Drew, a confidence booster after a couple of missed putts, just to get himself closing birdie, get himself back in position, only 4 off the lead, going into round 2.
It's good to see Pulps on there. Looked like he was having fun.
This guy's escaped with a couple of pars, and we'll take a look at the leaderboard after 1 round, 47th Wintertime Open.
Longest running tournament at the world's first permanent disc golf course. Cool to be there.